Good old Ja Rule.
I've been waiting for the time where we had to come to Ja Rule.
Yes.
For the answer.
Could somebody please find Ja Rule, get hold of this so I can make sense of all this.
What does Ja Rule think at a time like this?
What does he think, man?
So
what are we
check
talking
this out.
about?
Check this out. Ja Rule was asked via TMZ Sports about I'm gonna cite my sources now as it relates to Ja Morant, who's been in the news ever since he had that thing on him, about hip hop's influence.
I don't know if holding it with 2 fingers is necessarily having it on you.
He had that bread though.
I mean, he plays in the NBA.
You're right.
Anyways.
Anyway, thank you, Lon. I need to get refocused.
Why does it make me laugh whenever it's like, this is what Ja Rule had to say?
Yo, shout out to Lupe. No disrespect, bro. All right, man. Y'all
it
listen.
just makes me think of Dave Chappelle all the time.
Yeah, it's hard not to.
Y'all listen to what Ja Rule said as it relates to Ja Morant.
Yeah, tell us what Ja Rule had to say about this.
We got Ja Rule on the phone. Let's see what Ja's thoughts are.
Hip hop is very influential. You know, I've done things in my youth because of hip hop. You know, Redman made How to Roll a Blunt. He started smoking blunt. You know what I'm saying? Snoop made gin and juice. We started drinking gin and juice. I mean, so hip hop is very influential. I'm not gonna say it's not. How far people take it is what it is, but. You know, the thing with Ja, I just hope he, has better people around him and just let him know that ain't the way. You know what I mean? Go play ball, man. Do you, man? The streets ain't about nothing, man. Go grind on them, keep balling. You know, just that's it, man. We all make mistakes.
Basically, he used Redman, How to Roll a Blunt is what he said, and gin and juice. He's basically saying that hip hop is influential. Now, here's what I wanted. Here's what I wanted Ja to say. I wanted him to narrow it down to a certain area of hip hop, because to me that's a broad statement. Oh, hip hop is influential and that's the reason why. To me that's irresponsible. It's like had he said, okay, drill music is one of the things that I think may have contributed to it. You said
that's
your
not
head
any
long.
better though.
I think it is.
Not really.
In my opinion, I think it is, because to me it's irresponsible to say hip hop as a whole.
It is
just,
though.
Nah.
It is
because
influential. But that's not the answer to this Ja Morant thing, personally speaking.
Okay.
I don't think that's the answer. I think he's just having an identity crisis. And he has a lot of money.
Okay.
And he can do
what he
thinks he wants to do.
Okay.
And that's not the case. And he's getting a rude awakening.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. That's all this is.
Is that all that is?
That's all this is with Ja Morant, in my personal opinion.
All right.
I'm not trying to hear. I don't want to hear no excuses for Ja Morant's behavior.
That.
When you are entitled, and a lot of times people are entitled based on nothing.
Mm-hmm.
Ja Morant is entitled based on the fact that, based on his talent, based on the fact that he's got a max contract. He did have a Powerade deal.
Fumbled that.
And so you give all this to someone who is 23 years old. They start to think they are invincible, and a lot of the hardest part about it, and this is where me being as old as I am, like I said, going into going to my 46th year almost, I'm closer to 46 than I am 45 at this point.
Yes, sir.
And this is where, like, a lot of times we say Stephen A. Smith and he gets mad and he sees these things. When you get to be a certain age and you see young brothers messing up generational wealth over foolishness, it makes you angry and it makes you say things that may be a little out of character, but it comes from a place of like, come on, man, you can't do that.
Yeah.
There's no problem if you are a young, rich man and you want to go to a strip club and be with your shirt off. Cool. But I saw the video with him and I know some people minimize, because it was a 22. Let me tell you something. A friend of mine, if he'd have been shot with a larger caliber weapon, he'd probably still be here.
Wow.
You get hit that 22.
It bounces around. And,
it's still a gun, y'all.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's still a gun.
Yes.
All right. I'll just say it like that.
Yes, sir.
And, when Ja says hip hop influences, our young people, what about all the times, in recently in hip hop, there's been talks about generational wealth, talks about mental health. And we're going to skip over all that and we're just going to automatically go to the part that's talking about guns and smoking blunts. And, I've taken a lot from hip hop. You know what I'm saying? Not all of it good. You know what I'm saying? Because like the reason I even tried Hennessy is because I heard, you know,
Tupac?
so many.
Tupac was the one
not
that
just
I heard.
him. Everybody was round about Hennessy. And I was like, okay, I got to see what this Hennessy is talking about. You know,
True.
You know, at one point, like if it was getting rhymed about from Hypnotic to Ciroc to at one point people talk about new. Yes, exactly. They was giving away free advertising, but you know they also talking about, hey, we wearing Timberlands.
I'm not gonna cap.
this.
Those St. Ives commercials was dope.
Come on,
I ain't
man.
gonna hold you. And we wasn't even close to being able
Hip
to.
hop is one of the most influential things that ever was created.
And it's
But
time.
it has
It's
nothing
times
to
10
do
now.
with what Ja Morant did.
But Ja Morant, you know what I'm saying? Because like,
I agree with that.
and also you can look, Steven Jackson. Shout out to him. You know, he talked about when he was here with the Pacers.
yeah,
I
I brought it up last week on the show. He literally just said it.
He was like, what we were doing was way worse.
On, man.
But also, we didn't have social media.
Yes.
We didn't have social media. You know, information didn't move as fast. I mean, I in a way, I do see where Ja Rule is coming from. But at the same time, like, a lot of times it's about what you as an individual want to take away from hip hop. When I heard, I didn't become a vegetarian, but when I heard 𝐀𝐁𝐎f said no chicken, steak, or hamburger, that's suicide. I at least looked into what it was to be a vegetarian. You know, of course, you're not going to hear about them in school. You don't hear about them.
Yeah.
When Chuck D was like, don't tell me about Farrakhan until you hear the man.
Yeah.
Like, I was like, well, who is this and why? You can take what you want from hip hop.
Bro, hip hop is influential, dog. Doggy Style is one of my favorite albums of all time. If you talk about the subject matter on Doggy Style in the year and line it up with how old I was when Doggy Style came out, there's no way I would have been thinking about doing anything that was on Doggy Style. And I love that record.
You couldn't wait till you could do the things that was on Doggy Style.
That's different.
Right?
I'm talking about as it relates to when the album came out.
Yeah, I can
it's
dig
like, yo, I was so far away from the lifestyle that Snoop was painting on Doggy Style, but I loved the album, The Chronic.
No,
I love the album,
but
bro.
I can hear all these stories about, you know, we ride in B's and H's, but also, you know, I had parents that took me to church.
Talk about it.
I still had a healthy respect for black women in general.
Yes.
You know, I wasn't out here trying to live that life and, you know, put my D on different women's foreheads and, you know what I'm saying?
You a lie? Yes, she was.
Uh-oh.
What I mean,
you pointed too. He pointed
First
too.
of all,
Tell the truth.
if I did, it was consensual.
Okay, thank you.
It was
thank
in
you.
the confines of a respectful
Hey, yo, the new old heads
situation.
definitely are about being.
But you know what? Like,
Look at Lone, we just want to put that out there. That's all.
what I'm just saying is like, if I you know, because I was listening, you know, if I think about how I listened to NWA's second album,
Yeah.
their second full length album,
Second album was nasty.
and when if listening to that as I was like 14 or 15. If I didn't have some sort of balance and some sort of like situation in my life, like
If you
I would
didn't have that balance,
it
right.
would have
The key word is the balance.
Balance.
would have warped my mind
Listen,